A network has so many different pieces and parts, devices and protocols that it can sometimes be challenging to understand how one device or protocol is going to interact with another device or protocol. But the good news is we can use a reference model to give us a frame of reference for how one device or protocol is going to interact with another device or protocol. And one of the most popular reference models out there is the OSI reference model. Now, OSI, that stands for Open Systems Interconnect, and it's made up of these 7 different layers. And in some upcoming videos, I'm going to be covering each layer and we'll be discussing what happens at each layer. But in this introductory video, I want you to understand what the structure is, and I want you to memorize these 7 different layers in order. Now, before we talk about memorizing these different layers, let me give you a disclaimer. A lot of IT professionals think that once they master the OSI model, then they can take any protocol, any device, and they can identify which layer that it neatly plugs into, and it's only going to take up that layer. That's just not reality. The best thing I ever read about the OSI model is that it's a reference model. It's not a reverence model. It's not to be revered as the end-all be-all. It's just a tool to help us communicate with other IT professionals and to better understand ourselves how a device or protocol is going to interact with the overall network architecture. Now, let's talk about how we can memorize these layers. And we count from the bottom up. So layer 1 is at the bottom, layer 7 is at the top, much like a building. You go from floor 2 to floor 3 to floor 4 as you go up. A lot of people start counting at the top and go down. No, it's like a building. It starts at the bottom and it counts up. And we can memorize these different layers: the physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application layers. We can memorize those with an acrostic. And one acrostic starting from the bottom is, "Please do not throw sausage pizza away," where the P in please reminds us of the P in physical, and the D in do reminds us of the D in data link, and the N in not reminds us of the N in network. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. Or we can go from the top down. We can say, all people seem to need data processing. All people seem to need data processing. So however you want to memorize it, I'm cool with that. But I want you to understand in this video that this is a tool. It's not going to be a perfect fit for everything we're dealing with, but it's a tool to help us better understand how a network component is going to interact with other network components. And I want you to understand what order these layers are in and memorize them. And then in some upcoming videos, we're going to be discussing what happens at each layer.